What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. MLB DFS video is your Sunday edition. It is August 10th. We are back with another video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We do things a little bit differently. We're going to go game by game. We're going to go the early slate, or we're going to go the main slate, then the afternoon slate. We're going both pitchers. We're going to get batter splits against those pitchers, home and away splits. We're also going to look at usually about top 3 to top 5 bats from each team in each game. So stick around for that. If you enjoy it, please hit that like button. A big way to help out the channel is subscribing, clicking on the video, watching it a couple of times, sharing them, and leaving comments. And if you leave comments, you do have a chance to win. And here's how you can win. If you are a subscriber to this channel, you like this video, and you leave a comment, and this video gets a minimum of 50 likes, you will have a shot at a free week of FTA Plus. So that is a week of all sports. So for today, we got MLB and NASCAR. Thursdays is PGA. Saturdays, normally MMA. If this video gets at least 100 likes, a chance at a free month, 150 likes, a free year, 200 or more likes on the video, you will have a chance at a lifetime pass worth $500. Second way to win, somewhere in the video there'll be a keyword or key phrase, listen for it, type it in, and have your second shot at a free week. Now we've had multiple times where the same person has won both the views or the likes and the keyword. So we are going to roll it to see who the 2 winners are, or maybe 1 winner is from Saturday's video. Now, you got to get your likes and comments in there before the main slate locks. So that being said, we are going to see who the winner of the likes is. Even if the keyword is in here, we're still going to re-roll it. 392 Rez, this is the first time I think you've won, so congratulations. Won first yesterday in WNBA. I watch you almost daily. Keep up the great work. Thank you for watching us daily. And by us, I mean it's me. There's nobody else. But what I want you to do is like this comment so I know you saw it. Then email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. The email is down below as well. And then let me know you are in the subject line. You're the 8-9 video likes winner. And then if you have an account on FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, let me know that. If you do not, I just need a username, an email, and a password, and we will set you up for your free pass. So congratulations. You did not have the keyword in this comment, so it's not going to be you winning for the keyword unless you have a different comment on the video, but we are now going to roll it to see who the winner of the keyword is, which was pop, soda, or something like that. There you go. Every day is Sunday. We say soda where I'm from. So I was just curious. I know sometimes most of the time I say pop, then soda. I know some people say Coca-Cola, even though, or a Coke, and it doesn't mean Coca-Cola. So I was very curious. But every day is Sunday. It's been a while since you've won. I know you're in the Discord every single day because I accidentally, when I try to @ everybody or @ everyone, it @ your username, which is funny. And then I never notice it. So congratulations to both of you. Both of you email me and get in there for the winning circle. So the same thing. You guys can come back every single day and win every single day. That's what the beauty of this contest is. So make sure you do that. We have had one person win 6 days in a row, either the views or the likes or the comment. We also have our free Discord down below, and we have our DraftKings NFL Weekly League that we're going to do. It's $5 to enter. The pay structure is not what I wanted. I did not want it to be a 50-50, so I might have to redo it. But get in there so I know at least username. So if I have to change it up, I can invite you guys into the correct one. What it's going to be is $5 a week. Top 3 places pay every single week. And then the more you play, the more you can win. Because at the end of the year, whoever has the top 3 most amount of points, top place is going to win a lifetime pass to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Second place is going to win a yearly pass. And then third place is going to win a monthly pass. So we are going to use Outlier to go through the majority of the games. The link to sign up with them is down below as well. So after we go through all the games, I think we have 14 games to go over because we're not going over the Sunday Night Baseball game. Then we're going to do our other segments. So you've already seen them in the chapters, but the first segment is this. We're going to break down the slates. Then the following segment is our matchup tool. So we've already ran 10,000 simulations in the background. So those are done. This is your first look through 10,000 sims. We are going to give you all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating through the first 10,000 sims. And then obviously we do 20,000 a day, so you'll need to go to the website to see everything else once it's completed. After that, we're going to do Pitches Be Crazy, and then we're going to do our sports betting segment called Makin Bacon. So stick around, buckle up, let's have some fun out there. So I just wanted to see some weather. There's a little bit of weather concern, but just looking at like wind and stuff, guaranteed rate field between the Guardians and the White Sox, 25% chance of home runs. You got American Family Field between the Mets and the Brewers, 21% chance. Yankee Stadium between Houston and New York, 18% chance. And then Dodger Stadium, the wind is blowing directly out between the Blue Jays and the Dodgers. We have a 17% chance of home runs in that game as well. So, to be completely honest, I thought we'd have more 10 out of 10 matchup ratings today, but that just means the pitching's pretty good. So we're going to dig in, we're going to look at all of that, and we're going to start right now. So we got a 9-game main slate. We got Kansas City at Minnesota up first. Now, it has not been confirmed who the Minnesota pitcher is, and this is what we're going to see probably the rest of the year. Minnesota traded away a ton of guys. They're going to call people up. They're already looking at it. Jose Urena did pitch in his last start there, 7.4. News-wise, his first start did not factor in last Sunday. Urena isn't likely to get another turn of the rotation, but could be used as a bulk reliever. So Simeon Wood Richardson, if he is in fact here and not sick, would be what we'd look at there. So they think it's going to be... Oh, he's on the IL now? I thought he was sick. Due to an illness. Stomach bug. He wasn't able to recover. A stomach bug to go to the IL. The right-hander's eligible in return. Okay, so yeah, Urena is going to probably be the starter here. We don't want to see that. We want to stack against that. That's pretty much what it is. And then Ryan Bergert came in. He got traded over. Really, I know he hasn't really done much splits-wise. You can see pitches on the road. He's got a 220, so he's a little bit better. I mean, Minnesota can hit, but at 6,800, I'm okay with him. But he's averaging 9.6. We don't like to see that. So on DraftKings, and we've said it before, we're looking for, on DraftKings, 20 to 30 fantasy point range. That's pretty much the target we want for fantasy. And then on FanDuel, we want about 40 to 50 since we have one pitcher. So to be completely honest, I'm probably just looking at the bats and not the pitching in this one. So if I'm looking at hitters in this, for Kansas City side, obviously I'm looking at Pasquantino. I'm looking at Bobby Witt Jr. I'm looking at Sal Perez. Those are my top three. Minnesota, I think a full 5-man stack against Urena makes a ton of sense. So give me a lot of Yaz. Give me Mike Yastrzemski. Probably Maikel Garcia as well. If we go on the flip side and go Minnesota bats, Cody Clemens I would look at. Ryan Jeffers if he's in there. Again, Sundays are usually the day of rest for catcher, so it might be the backup catcher, but we'll see. I would look at him. I would like Matt Wallner, Royce Lewis as well. I just do not trust the pitching in this one. I'd rather focus on Kansas City bats, but Minnesota bats could be sneaky as well. We got Miami at Atlanta as the next game here. Rain being a concern, we'll definitely check that out. But you got Joey Wentz versus Cal Quantrill. You can see neither of them are averaging anything there. I don't want anything to do with the pitching. I'm just strictly going into the bats, and I'm not even blinking an eye here. Just let's stack. As long as the weather holds up, let's stack the bats. Because let's say those games get in, it starts, and then it rains, your pitcher, done. So looking at this, Miami's been formidable when we've used them. So let's just look at Miami bats against him. They really haven't seen him, basically not even a start, just kind of sprinkled in there. Against lefties, though, they don't hit that well. I still would take Kyle Stowers in this situation because you don't know how long Joey Wentz is going to be in this game. Then it gets to the bullpen, then it's just a whole new game. I would look at him. I would look at Xavier Edwards. I would look at Sanoa, maybe Eric Wagman as well. It really just depends. If it just depends on that. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. And again, there's always a Dane Myers that could be in there, Jacob Marcy if he's in there as well. Atlanta bats against Quantrill. Like they've seen him a little bit. Jerkson Profar has 2 home runs. Sean Murphy has a home run against him. They do hit righties well. So Jerkson Profar only batting 224, but he still has success against him. I would look at him. I would look at Eli White as a cheaper outfield option. I would look at Matt Olson and Sean Murphy if I'm going in this game. There's always Ozzie Albies as well. But again, I did have someone come out and be like, can you give us your top 3 bats at each position or each game? So that's what we do. But if you want to see all of the projections, all the simulations, all of them on our cheat sheet, our top stacks on the cheat sheet, make sure you check out FantasyTeamAdvisors.com for $10 for the week. Now that is a week of all sports. So we will have an NFL special in the very near future. So definitely stick around for that. Next game, we got the Athletics at Baltimore Orioles. You got Luis Severino versus Cade Povich. Sevy has faced them before. Obviously, we look at this, and he is better on the road. And you can see his splits. His home splits 634. His away are 331. That ballpark is terrible. He has faced Baltimore once this year. 5.2 innings, 6 runs, 5 of them earned, 5 Ks. That game did come back, I'm guessing, in his home stadium, which is bad. We don't like to see that. Is he on the IL now? Never mind. He's been put on the IL. Okay. With left oblique strain. Okay, so it's not Sevy. We don't know who it's going to be yet, and it might not even be known until day of. So so Sevy's out. So we don't know who's pitching there, and then you got Cade Povich here. So we look at Cade Povich, and 15.75, 17.85. You look at splits. He has not faced the Athletics yet this year. In his career, 3 plate appearances, so really has not seen them. When he pitches at home this year, 681. He has not been good. So that just kind of tells me we're going bats, and hopefully we're going some good bats here. Now, again, we don't know who's pitching for Sacramento, so it's kind of hard to go off that. But we'll just, for the sake of the game, batting-wise, like Baltimore bats, you can just see, like Gunnar Henderson batting 284, I would look at him. I would look at Jordan Westberg. I'd look at Ryan Mountcastle. There's always Adley, but he's been up and down this year, especially if it's against lefties. And then athletic bats against Povich. Rooker and Schumann have home runs. Against lefties, not ideal. J.J. Bleday batting 354. Langelier's batting 409. I would use him. You can just see it's kind of and then Brent Rooker probably is what I would look at there. Again, let's kind of watch to the pitching, but the Athletics don't have any starting pitcher that I even feel comfortable using, even against Baltimore this year. So, I'm off of that. I would rather go the bats, but we kind of got to wait to see who the Athletics are going to be pitching. So, next game, we got Houston in New York against the Yankees. Max Fried versus Colton Gordon, who they think it's going to be. It has not been confirmed yet. And I apologize if anyone can hear my children screaming upstairs. But if you can't, never mind. So it has not been confirmed, like I said, with Gordon. It should be his return in the rotation, though. News-wise, he did last pitch Saturday. They've been decimated by injury, obviously. He has not done a ton this year. He's averaging 10.6. When he pitches on the road in 6 starts, he's got a 5.46 ERA. So that does give the advantage to the Yankees. But then we got Max Fried. So he has started off very well. Then he got a blister against the Cubs, and it's been kind of up and down since then. Down game against Toronto, great game against Tampa Bay, middle of the road against Texas with 4 earned runs there. But he did have 7 Ks. So the 7 Ks are there. So we look at his splits. When he's at home, he's got a 244. He just pitched better at home. So I do love Max Fried today. But we'll look on both sides and to kind of get a feel for it. So Stanton's playing the outfield, or he should. I don't know how many days he's going to play the outfield. But obviously Aaron Judge is in there. Cody Bellinger is in there. Jazz is in there. Give me some Ryan McMahon if he's in there. Trent Grisham. I don't mind that. Stanton is another one. If we're looking on the flip side for Houston against Fried, I'm probably looking at Altuve against a lefty. I'm looking at Christian Walker against a lefty here. Jesus Sanchez would be another one that I would definitely look at. Correa and Yonder Diaz are all ones that I would honestly have a thinking of. Those would be what I'd look at. So I'm not looking at I'm not looking. My kids are sorry. I'm not looking at Gordon. You could throw him in a tournament because he is 6,400 and everyone will be on the Yankees. But yeah, it just depends. It's kind of what I'm looking at here, especially with like a 9-game main slate. I would go with Fried though in that situation. So next game we got Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. We've got Zach Littell versus Mike Burrows. Littell, he's averaging 15. So we look at this, and he's coming off a great game against the Cubs. Middle of the road against the Yankees. And then it's been kind of up and down for him. Averaging 15 this year, not a lot. I mean, that's under 2 times value from his 8,100. When he pitches on the road, he does have a 354. So it's kind of something to look at, but it is Pittsburgh. And then you got Mike Burrows. Coming off a terrible start against San Francisco, but a great start against San Francisco and a great start against Arizona. Been up and down. Has not faced Cincy this year. When he pitches at home in 8 starts, a 435. honestly, there are other pitchers out there. I'm probably looking at the bats, and I think that's probably what we do right here. So looking at the bats in this one, let's just say we're not going either pitcher, and we're going to go Pittsburgh bats. Against Littell, they really haven't seen him, but against right-handed pitching this year, it's been up and down. I mean, you see a lot of yellow or a lot of green and red, but Tommy Pham could be a cheap option. I think everyone's going to be on O'Neal Cruz. Everyone's going to probably be on Horowitz there, which are great. But a couple of cheaper options, I think, probably Tommy Pham you could look at, Andrew McCutchen you could look at, Peguero or IKF. I don't mind those guys. Then Cincy bats against Burrows. Like I said, they've never seen him before. Against right-handed pitching, they smash against right-handed pitching. I would love to know their home and away splits, which I believe. So let's just look at like Ellie De La Cruz batting .298 with 14 home runs overall against righties. But then let's break it down a little bit further. Let's go hitters, which this is why I love DraftKings. And then Ellie. And then you look at his splits. Home splits, he's got 14 doubles, 8 home runs. On away, he's got 10 doubles, 11 home runs, 446 slugging, 316, 763, and 253 average. So obviously home, it's a massive hitter's ballpark, so he does hit worse on the road. But then that's only one little cog in the machine, because you got to look at like BVP, you got to look at the weather, you got to see what the wind is doing, everything. Now, Cincy, their home ballpark, the ball does fly out of there for a reason. So I would assume, if without you digging into home and away splits for every single batter, they're probably better at home, just like most of the batters for Coors are better at home. It's the ballpark. But I would look at Ellie here. I would look at Gavin Lux. I would look at TJ Friedel, Noelvi Marte. A fifth one, I'm probably looking at Cabrian Hayes against his former team, going in that direction. There's always that, not revenge factor, because they didn't spurn him. He just got traded. But they always come back and seem to usually bite the hand that fed them, a.k.a. bite the hand that let them get traded or traded them themselves. So that's kind of what I would look at in there. Probably off of the pitching, you could look a little bit of Zach Littell just because of how bad Pittsburgh is overall, and stack Cincy, but I don't mind it either side this way. So then the next game we've got the LA Dodgers at the Detroit Tigers. It has not been confirmed that it is Jack yet, okay. He did last pitch. It is his turn in the rotation. News-wise, did last pitch Sunday. Yeah, I mean, he's got a 5.76 ERA. It's not ideal. Game log-wise, it's not good, and that was against the White Sox that he gave up 5 earned runs. Splits-wise, he has faced Detroit once this year, minus 2.8 fantasy points, 5 earned runs in that game. When he pitches on the road, he does have a 5.33 ERA. I want nothing to do with him. Then you got Casey Mize. Now, the Angels do strike out the most out of any team, okay? They strike out over 9.72 times per game. 3.5 ERA for Mize. Splits-wise, he has faced the Angels once, 7 innings, 4 Ks. He had 14.4 because he did give up 4 earned runs and a couple of walks. So if he didn't have that, we were probably doing pretty good there. So if I were to take this one, I don't mind Mize here. He is pitching at home. He does have a 3.47. He's slightly better at home. But if you want to look at the bats, I would fully go with Detroit before I went over a bunch of other things. But like Detroit bats that I would look at would be Riley Green's at the top of my list. Torkelson's there. Gleyber Torres is there. I want to say Kerry Carpenter, but I've noticed in close games they take Carpenter out. And then, they take Carpenter out and they pinch hit for him. And I don't want to see that. So if we don't want to go Carpenter and you want to go a couple of lower level guys, Winfield Perez, I don't mind. I think he could be sneaky. Come down a little bit further. Dylan Dingler is your catcher. I wouldn't mind that either. If you're not going to go with Casey Mize as your pitcher, Zach Neto's at the top. Nolan Schanuel's probably there. Mike Trout's there. Joe Adell, Moncada. If we're going further down, I don't mind Logan O'Hoppe, but I don't know if he'll be starting. So that's kind of where I'd go there. But if I were to take a pitcher, it would be Casey Mize over Kachanowicz. If in fact, I know that's not how you say his name. I cannot remember how to ever pronounce his name. But I wouldn't go with him if he is in fact the starter. Then we're getting into some weather. We got Cleveland at Chicago White Sox. Kind kind of monitor this situation. But we got Slade Ciccone versus Davis Martin. Ciccone averaging 15.4, Davis averaging 11.7. In that situation, Ciccone's never really seen him before. 4 plate appearances total. 3.72 ERA. 18.5 there. He was 8,400. He's gone up 1. When he pitches on the road this year, 2.63. He's just been better on the road. If the weather holds off, I do like Ciccone here. Davis Martin, on the other hand, has got a 4.11 ERA, coming off a bad start against Seattle, which kind of was a plus matchup for him because Seattle strikes out the third most out of any team. And then a good start against Philly, which doesn't make sense, and then just kind of middle of the road. Good one against Kansas City. So splits-wise, he has not faced the Guardians this year. Home, 14.7, 3.04 ERA. I think Ciccone's more cash in tournament. I think Davis Martin is strictly just tournament option here. That's where I'd look at. But if you're not going either of the pitchers here and you would just want to focus mainly on the bats, we can look at that. So Cleveland against Davis Martin. Austin Hedges does have a home run. That's it. They really haven't seen him much, like I said. Against righties, though, this year, like Manzardo batting 247 with 14 home runs. Schneemann batting 239 with 10 home runs. I would look at Steven Kwan. I would look at Jose Ramirez. A cheaper option here, probably CJ Kayfus. Doesn't have a home run against righties this year, but I would look at him if he starts. It just depends. And then White Sox against Ciccone, like I said, 4 plate appearances, so nothing. But they do hit righties better. There's not a ton to love here, but, I mean, Colson Montgomery is a bright spot here. Lennon Sosa is another White Sox bright spot. I would use those two. Mike Tauchman, every time I see Mike Tauchman in a lineup, I usually use him. He's a very cheap option to build around. And then Brooks Baldwin, 240 batting average with 7 home runs. I don't mind him. I don't know. I mean, he's more of a tournament-only option, though. Next game, we've got the Mets at Milwaukee. Don't have to worry about weather or wind because it is a retractable roof. So right now, we've got Sean Manaea versus Quinn Priester. So we look at this. Priester is averaging a little bit more. He's 90. These guys, the price of these guys is wild. Quinn Priester did have a good game against Atlanta, down game against the Cubs, good game against Seattle, great game against the Dodgers. You look at splits. He has not faced the Mets this year. And when he pitches at home in 9 games, 6 of them being starts, 3.04 ERA against him. So that's good numbers there. So I don't mind him. I'm surprised he's that expensive. And then you got Sean Manaea here. A handful of starts under the belt this year. Bad start against Cleveland, 3.35. Great start against the Angels. In his career, 42 plate appearances against Milwaukee, 21.4 K percentage, 289 batting average. When he pitches on the road this year, which is only 1 start, 2.16. So that you can't really go off of those numbers. But then that's why we like to use this. We'll come in here and we'll just see if there's any BVP. If there's any numbers on either side that have hit him or hit that person very well, we'll use that. And a lot of people, like you either love BVP or you absolutely hate it with a passion. Let me know what you guys do for DFS or baseball purposes. Do you lend any credence to BVP or batter versus pitcher, or are you just completely against it? Would love to know. Mets bats against Priester. No one's had a home run against him. Only a couple have had decent. Against right-handed pitching, though, I mean, Juan Soto batting 260 with 22 home runs this year. Francisco Lindor, I would use Alonso as well. Cheaper option if he starts. The recently recalled Francisco Alvarez for catcher, 258, I don't mind. But there's always a cheaper option, and maybe a Starling Marte, Ronnie Mauricio, or even Tyrone Taylor if you don't want to pay up that much. And then Milwaukee bats against Manaea, really nothing going on. Against lefties, not ideal, but Blake Perkins batting 281, I would look at. You've got Caleb Durbin batting 316. You've got Andrew Vaughn batting 268. All these, Sal Frelick batting 319. All these guys are cheaper because everyone's going to be on Christian Yelich and William Contreras. So you can mix and match with them, but I don't trust Manaea. There's so many other options. I'm not really looking at this pitching here. And then the final game on the main slate, we got Philly at Texas. We've got Zach Wheeler versus Patrick Corbin. Wheeler's just been dominant here. 25.1 fantasy points. I'm going Wheeler. Patrick Corbin, nothing against the Yankees, kind of up and down there. Splits-wise against Philly, he has not faced them this year. In his career, 204 plate appearances, 312 batting average overall. When he pitches at home, he's got a 344. But Philly's good. I would stack Philly. I would look at Kyle Schwarber against the lefty. Just it's Schwarber day. He's going to hit a home run, mark it, book it, whatever you want to call it. I would look at him. I would look at Trey Turner. I would look at Bryce Harper. I would look at Nick Castellanos. I would look at Brandon Marsh as a cheap option there. But I do love a full Philly stack today, and I'm going Zach Wheeler for the main slate. And then we've got a 5-game afternoon slate. Starts with Washington at San Francisco. You got Mackenzie Gore versus Justin Verlander. Now, Gore just pitched his last time, and this is where I think we differentiate ourselves from the pack. And what I mean by that is he was one of our core plays. He went up against the Athletics. He gave up 8 runs, 3 innings, minus 17.05. He absolutely sold, okay? Absolutely sold in that game. No strikeouts either. His strikeouts have been low. Now, he has had a couple of games where he had 13, but it's been a while since he's had 13. April 19th was the last time he had double-digit home run or double-digit strikeouts, and he has not had them pretty much since then. Splits-wise, he has faced San Francisco once this year. I do give this a boost because this ballpark is a great pitcher's ballpark. This year, 6 innings, 1 earned run, 9 Ks, 26.5. I'm curious, was that in Washington? That was in Washington. So it is a better ballpark. Splits-wise, though, technically, his ERA on the road is almost 1 full run better. So this does match up there. He is 8,500 now, so they have dropped him in price. And you see he was up over 10,000 a little bit. So I don't mind him. I think it is a great bounce back spot for him. If he was at home, I probably would say probably not. Then you got Verlander. Verlander still got a 4.39 ERA. He hasn't hit value. He hit 21.1 against San Francisco or against the Angels, which you're supposed to. They strike out the most out of any team. Splits-wise, he has not faced the Washington Nationals this year. When he pitches at home, he does have a 4.41. So he does not pitch well at home. If we go into that situation, we can look at the numbers and see what we've got right here. So looking at the numbers here, if you're going neither pitcher, but if I'm going any, so I'm not 100% sure I'm going with either pitcher, but it would be Gore if I were to. Washington bats against Verlander in their career. Riley Adams is the only one that has a home run, but against righties this year, Drew Millis batting 385. Again, it's only 26 at bats, so it's not much. But you got Josh Bell, 250 with 12 home runs. You got Nate Lowe, 238 with 13. You got James Wood batting 245 with 15. I would look at that. Also, you could throw in maybe a little bit of C.J. Abrams. San Francisco against Gore. Will Flores has a home run, and Elliot Ramos does. Against left-handed, they don't do very well against lefties. Rafi Devers batting 255. You could look at Matt Chapman batting 243. Christian Koss batting 286. That's about it. I mean, there's not much there. So yeah, that just lends credence to maybe we look at Gore a little bit. It's got these better numbers on the road, big ballpark to pitch in, and San Francisco does not hit lefties very well. Colorado, Arizona is up next. So looking into this one, we have not taken a pitcher in this series yet. It has not been confirmed that is Tanner Gordon, but it should be his turn in the rotation. But, I mean, you can see he pitched Monday. I mean, if it is him, he's been very bad. Minus 12.6, minus 7.25. He's got a 6.59 ERA. Pitching on the road, he has a 9.39, so he's been worse on the road in 2 less starts. I want nothing to do with him. And then Brandon Pfaadt's another one. We've used him a couple of times. We used him against St. Louis when he did 28.75, but then we also used him against, what was it? I think against Atlanta where he got minus 3.5, so it was not ideal. Splits-wise, he's faced Colorado once, didn't do anything against them. When he pitches at home, he is better at 3.64, but I really don't want anything to do with them. I'd rather look at the bats. So just kind of looking at these bats, obviously Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte. I would look at Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Perdomo. James McCann could be sneaky. McCann or Del Castillo, depending on which catcher is there. That's what I would look at. If you're not going to go Brandon Pfaadt and you're going to go Colorado bats, Hunter Goodman's at the top of my list always. Mickey Moniak is there. Jordan Beck is there. Tyler Freeman is also there as well. Just depends on the lineup that comes out. But yeah, I don't want either pitcher. I 100% am fading them. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Let's go in a different direction and just completely stack this game a little bit. Boston at San Diego is next. You got Dylan Cease versus Brian Bayo. Cease coming in. It's a strange ERA for him, but coming off a great start against St. Louis. Couple of stinkers there before the trade deadline. Great start against Washington. Splits-wise, he has not faced Boston this year. Boston does strike out the fourth most out of any team, and he's faced some 36 plate appearances, so not much, but a 265 batting average, which is great. Then it's in a pitcher's ballpark, and his ERA at home is better. It's 3.67. So he makes sense. I do like that. And then Bayo's actually started off slow and come back. He's got 3.03 ERA, back-to-back 20-plus fantasy points there. Then you can see 38 fantasy points against Colorado. In his career, 37 plate appearances against San Diego, 267 batting average, 10.8 K percentage. So the K percentage has been low, and he does only have 88 strikeouts this year. Averaging 15 fantasy points a game on DraftKings. When he's on the road, he's got a better ERA of 2.88. So this could be a pitcher's duel because of the ballpark. It's always something to look at. This ballpark is a pitcher's ballpark historically. So we'll look at it a little bit and see what makes sense for you. So Boston against Cease. Trevor Story does have a home run. Against right-handed pitching, Jarren Duran batting 293 with 10 home runs. You've got Rafaela batting 269, Wilyer Abreu batting 253. Those are probably the three that I use. You can sprinkle in a little bit of Trevor Story as well. And then San Diego against Bayo. Gavin Sheets does have a home run, but he's not really starting now with O'Hearn being there. So bats I would look at against Bayo if you think they're going to score some runs. Luis Arraez to get on base. I do like him. Ryan O'Hearn batting 286. I do like him. Tatis batting 271 with 15 home runs. I do like him as well. Those would probably be my top three. If you want to see even more bats that we didn't even talk about, that's on our cheat sheet and our stack section, so make sure you check those out. So I think both pitchers are in a great spot. I think both are cash or tournament option today. Then Tampa Bay at Seattle. You've got Adrian Hauser versus Brian Wu. Wu's averaging 20.6. In his career, he's only faced the Tampa Bay Rays 7 plate appearances, so there's nothing there. Come on, we used him. He was our profile picture, or our picture of our video and article. His last start, he absolutely dominated. 7 innings, 9 Ks against the White Sox. Splits-wise, when he pitches at home, he does have a better ERA of 2.17, so it's always something that I want to look at. I'm looking at him. And then Adrian Hauser comes in. Nothing really. 2.84 ERA. I wouldn't look at him. I would just be looking at Brian Wu and then Seattle bats is where I'm going at in this one. So looking at this, Tampa Bay against Wu really haven't had success against righties. They do hit well. I don't trust them. If you think Wu is going to have a bad game and you want to go against the grain and have that low ownership there, you can always look at Brandon Lau batting 299. You look at Jake Mangum batting 316. Junior Cameron Arrow batting 266 with 22 bombs. I don't mind, but I'm going Wu. And then Seattle bats against Hauser. Mitch Garver has a home run, and then Eugenio has 2. I would be looking at Cal Raleigh. I would be looking at Eugenio. I'd be looking at Josh Naylor. Those would be my top 3. There's always a sprinkle in of Dylan Moore or Jorge Polanco you could do as well in that game. And then the final game on this afternoon slate, Toronto at the Dodgers, you got Yamamoto versus Eric Lauer. Yamamoto, 2 plate appearances, really haven't seen him. Eric Lauer has faced the Dodgers 80 plate appearances, 17.5. Lauer comes in, 2.59 ERA. Splits-wise, he has not faced the Dodgers this year. On the road, a 2.60. I could see him, we know the Dodgers are really good. I feel it in my plums that Eric Lauer, for no reason whatsoever, has a decent game against the Dodgers. The Dodgers have been losing some games to some pitchers that just doesn't make any sense to anybody. And we can use that information how you want. He is 7,000. He's coming off 18.7 in Coors, which we never see. And I don't mind that. Then you got Yamamoto. averaging more. He's got 2.36 ERA. I mean, he's had 4 straight really good starts. Toronto, again, he's never really faced them. Pitching at home, he does have a 3.23, so he has been worse at home. This just feels like one of those where people are going to pay up for Yamamoto and not Eric Lauer, and then Yamamoto gets lit up, and Eric Lauer just has a fantastic game. And I don't know why. So let's just look at the bats just in case. Let's just take a little gander at the bats here. So like I said, they've really never seen Yamamoto before. But against righties this year, if you want to get crazy, Addison Barger, I don't mind. Bo Bichette, I don't mind. Is George Springer back, or is he back on the or is he off the IL? Is he eligible to be back? When is he eligible to be back? Okay. He technically, I guess, could be activated for this, and if he is, I would like him. I would use him. So if George Springer is back, I wouldn't mind him because he is batting .314 against righties this year. Bo Bichette batting .301 with 10 home runs. Vladdy batting .290 with 14. This just, and I could be wrong. So again, I'm human. Alejandro Kirk as well. I kind of don't mind Eric Lauer because his ownership is going to be very low against the Dodgers, and then stacking Toronto against Yamamoto because I think Toronto's stack is going to be way lower because the area are going up against Yamamoto. And there you have it. That is the breakdown of the main slate and the afternoon slate for you. If you have any questions, make sure you get those down below. If you want to get the keyword, I think the keyword is going to be, key phrase is Sunday Fun Day, because it is Sunday, and hopefully we make some money and have some fun today. So, all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating, now these are through 10,000 sims. What we do is we do a total of 20,000 sims, and we usually do that about an hour before first pitch of the main slate. So the main slate for Sunday is at noon. It's pretty early for the day. But looking at that, we've got some 10 out of 10s. We don't have a ton, but we do have some 10 out of 10s. So looking at that, we've got Kerry Carpenter, number 1. We've got Jose Ramirez, number 2. Number 3 is Riley Green. 4 is Kyle Schwarber. 5 is Steven Kwan. 6 is Gleyber Torres. 7 is Matt Chapman. 8 is Colt Keith. 9 is Spencer Torkelson. 10, Willie Adames. 11, Adley Rutschman. 12, Zach McKinstry. 13, Winsteele Perez. 14, Wilmer Flores. 15, Josh Bell. 16, Dylan Dingler. 17, Jorge Polanco. And 18, Javi Baez. So we got 18. If you look at that, it really is loving a Detroit stack. It's loving a little bit of a Baltimore stack and a little bit of a San Francisco Giants stack, which I don't know about that. We'll see. And then it's got Kyle Schwarber, who is probably one of my favorite batters of the day. So then we're going to do our pitches be crazy. So what this is we're looking at the bottom 5 teams that strike out the most and the pitchers going up against them. So number 1 is Casey Mize versus the Angels. The Angels strike out 9.72 times per game, 9.79 on the road. Number 2 is Brandon Pfaadt versus Colorado. Colorado strikes out 9.56 times per game, 10.05 on the road. Number 3 is Adrian Hauser at Seattle. Seattle strikes out 8.91 times per game, 9.02 at home. Number 4 is Dylan Cease versus Boston. Boston strikes out 8.86 times per game, 10.07 on the road. And then number 5 is, if it is in fact Jack Kachanowicz, but I don't know if it's not been confirmed, at Detroit. Detroit strikes out 8.79 times per game. They strike out 8.59 times at home. So those are just some of them. Just because they are in there does not mean they have a great matchup. Like, I'm not using Brandon Pfaadt. I'm not using Adrian Hauser. And I'm really not using the Angels pitcher if it is or isn't Jack. So I'm not using that. So now we're going to do our final segment, Make and Bacon. So we're going to look at some of the batters we think could get you 1+ hit, 1+ RBI, whatever you want to do. These are some of the batters that I would target today. Number 1 is Bo Bichette. Number 2 is Trey Turner. 3 is Manny Machado. 4 is Aaron Judge. 5 is Bobby Witt Jr. 6 is Luis Arraez. 7 is Vladdy. 8 is Maikel Garcia. 9 is Jose Ramirez. 10, Shohei Ohtani. 11, Brent Rooker. 12, Nico Horner. 13, Jose Altuve. 14, Jarren Duran. And 15, Steven Kwan. So we got 15 batters I think could get you 1+ hits there. Definitely parlay some of them, but again, don't do a 15. You could, I guess, do a 15-man parlay if you're wild and crazy. Now we're going to do the pitching segment of this, but we're going to look at some of the pitchers and maybe what we would target strikeout-wise. Wheeler against Texas, 8 strikeouts, maybe even go up to 9, hopefully. 2 is Dylan Cease versus the Red Sox, since the Red Sox do strike out over 8 times a game. I'm looking about 7 to 8 strikeouts there. 3 is Brian Wu against the Rays. I would look at 6 to 7 strikeouts for Wu. Next up is Quinn Priester versus the Mets. I would look at maybe 5, maybe 6 strikeouts. I don't know if I'd go up to 6, though. Next up is Yamamoto versus Toronto. If you could find a line for 5+ strikeouts, I do not mind that. And then Max Fried. If you can find Max Fried for 6 strikeouts, maybe 5 to 6 strikeouts, if you can find those lines, I would parlay the 5 pitchers together. Or do what you want. It's your money. That's kind of what I would focus on. So that's what we've got for you on this fantastic Sunday. Hopefully you had a great weekend, whether or not you played preseason NFL, which we're not going to have preseason NFL here just because it's so volatile, but whether or not you did that, whether or not you had good luck or you had success playing MMA on Saturday. You've got NASCAR on Sunday here. Maybe you just sports bet. I don't know. Whatever you did, hopefully you guys were in store for a fantastic day and weekend, and hopefully it continues today. Monday, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got an 11-game slate for Monday, so I love to see that. Usually, sometimes there's like a 4-game slate. Sometimes there's only 5, but we got 11. So we'll be back. If you have not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If you want to go back, watch this video a couple of times to help out the channel, that is awesome as well. So let's have a fantastic day. Good luck, and as always, bring home some bacon. Peace.